Welcome back to the Danny Hartson Show. Today on this week's episode, I have with me Dominic Escandell, a drummer and journeyman musician here in Nashville. How you doing, Dominic?
I'm doing swell. I woke up about an hour ago.
Yeah, real, real rock star shit.
I wouldn't say it's like a rock star thing to do to wake up like an hour before. Well, maybe. I mean, I don't know. I'm doing this for you, man. What's
Appreciate it.
Yeah. What got you wanting to start doing this? Anyways.
I don't know, man. I just had the idea.
You did?
Yeah, I just had like the idea one day. I was like, you know what? I want to interview people.
I've
You know
always
what I'm
wanted to like kind of do a podcast sort of thing where you can just kind of get your thoughts out there, especially because I get a lot of like spiritual ideas sometimes, and I want to like talk about them a lot, you know.
Yeah, I feel you, man. Like one day I was just like, I just want to like talk to creative people, like interview them, cause like I'm a musician myself.
Yes, sir.
So I was just like, I can just make a lot of connections with this show.
Yeah,
You
for
know what
real.
I'm saying? And like I feel like we could all grow through it, cause like I can grow through it when like their fans see it, and then like when with people that follow me, like uh, those people can like cross over and listen to their music or start following them. So I think it's just like a good idea for like the whole community to just like grow together.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But so let's start at the beginning.
Okay.
Like for you, like when.
The beginning of my life.
Yeah.
Well, I was born.
So like how did you start like getting into music?
When we moved to Tennessee, my parents were like, "Hey, we're in Nashville now, so you got to learn how to play something." So they taught me. They actually got me guitar lessons. And this guy, I don't know if you know who Disciple is. They're this like it's like a Christian punk band. They lived like right next to us, and he literally like let me borrow his first ever acoustic guitar, and I went over and learned how to play that with these lessons. But I didn't fuck with those lessons, bro, because I just didn't like. I don't know. He was trying to get me to play like one artist. I forgot what the artist was. It was like Coldplay or some shit. But that's all he wanted me to play, and I didn't want to do any of that.
I wouldn't want to do that either.
Yeah, exactly. So I just went straight for. I told my parents I didn't want to do it anymore, and they were like, "Yeah, but you still gotta." They were very insistent on it, and I'm glad they were. But they were like, "Yeah, you still gotta do music." So they I ended up doing drum lessons, and that stuck with me. Uh, Andy Andy Williams was my drum mentor, and he died like about 2 years ago in like a motorcycle accident, and I still think about it to this day. Just like what he might think about my life, you know.
Yeah, I got you. So is that like fuel for you to like keep going?
I wouldn't. It doesn't really fuel me. It's not something that's like that motivates me to keep going, but it's something that I think about all the time, and just whenever I mean, drumming with one hand, like, what would he think about that? Or like even my lifestyle choices, because he's like a very devout Christian man. He probably wouldn't like those things, you know. but
Yeah, I get you.
but in terms of music, I wonder. This guy's gonna give you a bunch of microphone noise, isn't he?
Do you want to introduce your pet snake?
Oh yeah, this is Umi. He is a pastel Enchi ball python. I got him like a year ago. Oh, I need to talk in the mic. But yeah, he's a cute little guy for sure. I'm gonna move him away from this microphone.
Yes, sir.
There you go.
What inspired you to buy that snake?
I had a girlfriend. Her name was Fiona, and she had a bunch of snakes. And I've always thought that they were cool, but I've never really like thought that I was gonna actually get one.
Yeah.
But she was like able to help me like through the process of getting a snake and like just make me sure about everything. Cause getting a new pet's hard, man. It's starting to think about like how you're gonna feed it and everything, and like take care of its shit and everything. Like I don't know. It's a lot.
Yeah, it's time consuming for sure.
Yeah, she definitely made me feel more comfortable with the idea, and I'm really glad because I like the snake.
Sweet,
Cute
man.
guy.
All right, so let's get back to music.
Yeah, totally.
So you're talking about how like you started on guitar, like your parents made you like learn guitar and stuff
Hmm.
like that, but then like you switched over to drums.
Hmm.
Was there like why'd you do that? Like what was the reason for you to like choose drums?
You know, when you're a kid, you just like banging on shit. It's just the easiest thing to really play, you know. Or not easiest, but it was the most interactive for me, I think. And I've always been. A lot of drummers have like super sporadic minds. You know, they all out of control. You could say ADHD, but that term's used a lot today. It's not. I don't know how true that is. You know, but it's definitely. I definitely fit that brain. You know, that like general
Yeah,
ADHD brain, scatterbrain.
that bang on shit brain.
Hmm.
Yeah, I get you. Was there like any particular like band or like specific drummer that like you looked up to when you were starting?
No. In fact, I've always had people ask me that, and I've never been able to like really answer it, cause I don't know. I don't take I've never looked into the people behind stuff, which is like I wish I didn't have that trait because I think it's cool to like know who did stuff, but like I don't know a lot of actors. I don't know a lot of the like individual musicians in bands. I know the bands. The drummer for Snarky Puppy, he's just really good, and I'm like,
Yeah,
wow, I appreciate the shit out of what he does, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know like what inspires me though. I've just always like played with people and learned through playing with people rather than playing other people's songs, you know, and learning through playing other people's songs.
okay, yeah, I get you. Do you want to talk about like your first band?
Which, well, the first one that I ever had was Spirits of All Souls. But I mean, when you start talking about your first bands, I mean that's like when you're in high school and you're experimenting with some like guys just because you've never like written before, and that band was terrible. I don't think we never even had an original song. Our bass player played on an electric guitar. You know,
Yeah,
he was just playing the first two strings of the electric guitar and plucking them.
yeah,
um, but we played for the Valentine's Day show. Um, then I was in another band called The Group, uh, and we had like a couple songs, but I was just drumming for them. I didn't really care much about that band. And then I started The Couches, and that's where that kind of took off, you know.
yeah.
Because that was like all me. I made it all.
You
We
recruited everyone.
Yeah, essentially it was like just like my project that I was leading more so than anything else. This dude
Yeah.
is going all over the place. Um, what was I saying though? Oh yeah, we started out. Um, it was me, my buddy Jordan, and Lucas. And Lucas has stuck with me this whole time. But Jordan, I I don't know. He wrote like a lot of the electric guitar stuff, and I was doing bass and singing at that point. Because I've been all around with like all these different instruments, just trying to fit myself into a band so that I could play with other people. Because that's what I really like about music is when I could get to play with other people. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Um, but yeah, so we did that. We had this song called "Listen." We never released anything, but it was like the first song that I really like put my heart into, and it was cool. But yeah, I don't know. It didn't last too long. The first stage of it with Jordan and everything. We used to get into fights, like literal like physical altercations while writing music, just because somebody disagreed or something. And Jordan would always like just intensify the situation, be like, "You want to go?" And then we'd like go in the backyard and like actually fight. There was one time him and Lucas were fighting, and they knocked over the PA that I had downstairs. That was like, you know, like my vocal monitor, and broke it. So I mean, just a bunch of high schoolers doing like stupid high school shit. But that's how that first stage went for sure.
Yeah. So like with the couches, I know that there was like a lot of different like member changes and like phases with that band.
Yeah,
Do you
absolutely.
want to like expand more on like the full history of the band?
Yeah, well, it was me, Jordan, and Lucas, and then uh, so then we added Sam. So Sam's a friend that I've had for a while, and he joined when we started doing cover shows. We were doing cover shows for like proms and stuff, because you can make a lot of money that way. We were doing cover shows, and he joined as a bass player, so that we could do them. And I needed to be a front man, because I've always had the energy to do that, and I don't like playing and singing. It's like I can't focus on the singing as much, you know. So we were doing that for a while, and then he really wanted to play electric guitar because that's what he's like good at, you know. So he started doing that.
Let me backtrack. So Sam joined. He was playing bass.
Bass.
And you were playing. So you were singing, just singing.
Yeah,
like,
Sam relieved me from bass
Okay.
because I was doing bass and singing for a while.
Yeah. Okay. So he joined. He played bass, and then somewhere like along the line, he switched to guitar.
Yeah, he wanted to play
Okay,
electric guitar.
gotcha.
He's really good at lead. I mean, he has like a really cool jazz rock background and like he listens to a lot of like math rock and stuff like that, and it really gives him an interesting style that I haven't really heard from a lot of people. So he was good on electric guitar, and we had this guy. His name is Evan Boucher. He's in. I'm shouting out everybody right now. I don't know if they're gonna want this, but he's at Berkeley right now, studying like bass performance, and he's fucking great. I don't think he really liked us that much though, because we scared him a lot. Just because, like I said, dude,
With the
fights and there was one time we were driving on the way to a show, and like Jordan just decides that we're about to race, so we start racing on the back roads in Fairview, and I take this turn a little bit too hard, and I was trying to drift in this car that, you know, obviously can't drift because it's a Toyota Corolla, and I just like go straight through this guy's lawn, and I just keep going, like literally in like almost like a donut all the way through his lawn, and I just destroy it, and then we had to like get my car out of the mud, and like, you know, have you ever like pushed a car and like from behind, and the driver's driving, and then the mud like splatters up on you?
Yeah.
Because that's what happened. So I mean, he just obviously, I don't think he had a great experience with our band, and I feel bad.
Yeah. He
Sorry,
just
Evan.
joined, and it was just utter hell, and he was like, yeah, nah, I'm not built for this.
Yeah, no. But
Shout out to that guy. I hope you are having a good time at Berkeley, and I wish you a successful career.
for sure. But well, Evan went off to do like Mulch, which is a really cool jazz band. Well, Evan only joined for one show,
Okay.
because I don't think he liked us that much, which is fair. Then after that show, if I'm recalling right, we didn't really play any more prom shows, and I think everything after high school changed drastically, because once we stopped doing those cover shows, and once Jordan quit, because he decided that he, you know, wasn't. Let me move this. Damn. He decided that he like isn't really a musician for a while.
Yeah.
But now he's recently gone back on it. But he just decided that he didn't want to do it anymore. So he quit, and then it was just me, Sam, and Lucas. But we didn't know what we were doing. I mean, without Jordan, we didn't have like that base of like, he was doing rhythm guitar, and he would write every like start of a song, you know. So what I did is I started writing everything, because Sam's great at guitar, but he never had the passion, and even to this day, never had the passion with the Couches to really write anything. So at this point, I was writing these songs, but I can't play them and sing at the same time, like I said, because I want to focus on my singing.
Yeah.
So I actually had Ava, my friend Ava Hollingsworth, and she's going as Camelot on Spotify. You can listen to her music. She's amazing.
Shout out Camelot.
Yeah. But she joined as the singer. So that was her first singing gig. And we played, this is the first time we ever played just original sets, just strictly original sets, maybe like one or two covers at like bars around Nashville,
Yeah.
and I mean, yeah, it just kind of started to take off a little bit. We had like about 300 followers. I mean, nothing crazy, but yeah, we were playing a bunch of shows with this new setup, and it was still a learning experience. But when the lineup really solidified itself, it was Ethan, which he just walked through that door. And
Shout
he's
out
in this,
Ethan.
he's in this new band with me, Beamers, but we're gonna change the name at some point.
Got you.
But yeah, so it was Ethan, Sam stayed in it, Lucas stayed in it. We had Graham, which is this girl that I ended up dating, and Sam and me. So this is when it really started taking off because I stepped back into that vocal role. Because with Ava, she's great, but she never matched the energy that we put off. It was more of like we have more of like a hard rock vibe than like what she's used to. You know what I'm saying? So we did that. I started singing, and she left and started her own project, which I'm glad she did because it sounds great. And yeah, Lucas hopped back up on drums, and I hope all this is making sense. And
I think it is.
good. And Ethan was playing bass, and Sam was playing electric guitar, and it was really cool. I'll show you a song.
Okay.
But we got like 6-7 songs. We recorded an EP, and here I'll just show you like just a little snippet from one of these songs here.
Okay.
So I did a lot of the rhythm work on this, and then we had Graham play it.
Yeah. Okay, so let's okay, so at this point it's you on vocals,
Yeah.
Graham and Sam on guitars, right?
Mhm.
Lucas on drums and then Ethan on bass. that
Yeah,
correct?
Lucas was on drums, Ethan was on bass, I was on lead
Okay.
vocals, Graham was on guitar, and Sam was on guitar.
Okay, cool. So
But so that's the sound that we had, and that
Yeah.
was working a lot. And I'm super passionate about what I was writing, so everything. I mean, I was just like jumping around on stage and doing crazy shit. There was that song actually. Whenever it got to the solo, I would just like fall on the ground and like do like a fake seizure, like just like shake around everywhere because it was so cool. But
like some punk rock shit.
it felt so right to do in that moment. I don't know. But that worked. That worked for a while. It was working, I thought. And I still don't know to this day. Like, I know Sam, he's never been like passionate about that project in particular. And I don't know really what it was. If it was, I think he said that it sounds overproduced. I don't know, but it's whatever. So he ended up quitting, and Graham ended up quitting. And once that happened, it fell apart, and a lot of like other like not very good things happened to me around that time, and it ending up in like this cast and my broken hand, and I haven't been able to like really start that project back up again. So it's been,
Gotcha, man. So now you're in a band called Beamers,
yeah, I've been playing one-handed drums. I can do
Yeah.
that.
like Def Leppard style.
Yeah.
So who's in Beamers?
Beamers is me, Ethan, this guy named Jimmy. We got JT, and we got Trip. I'm living with Ethan and Trip right now.
Okay, gotcha.
Mhm.
So Lucas isn't in the band.
Lucas isn't in this one, no.
Okay,
Lucas
gotcha.
mainly works with Ava right now. I highly recommend if you want to interview somebody else. I'd interview her.
Okay.
Camelot. She's
Word.
fucking. She's good, dude. And
Yeah.
yeah, I don't want to get into too much, but she's gonna make it.
Do you want to talk about like what was like the craziest show you had, or like your best like live moments, like live highlights?
We had this one show that we played in Clarksville, and that was just the biggest audience we've ever played to because the Clarksville scene. I don't know. Those people in Clarksville, they're starving for music. And there's this venue. It was one of the last shows that they were going to have. It's called the Upstairs Emporium. They just closed because they were also like a magic shop too. Like
Okay.
like witchcraft,
Okay.
like Wiccan stuff. So there was, I think they were renting from a church. Like a church owned that building, and they just like hiked up rent so that the magic shop couldn't be there because,
Yeah.
classically Christians and Wiccan people
Yeah, it seems like a conflict of interest.
don't enjoy each other. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, we had so many people show up to that show, and I just remember I was able to control the entire audience. Like I got everybody on the ground, and we were smacking the ground to the beat and everything, and then I had them all jump up at the same time, and so like crowd surfing and stuff. Dude. It's the most I could ever do like crowd work wise, just because that's the most people that have ever showed up to a show.
Gotcha. Is there any? I know that like earlier you said you don't really follow musicians individually, but is there like any like front man or singer that like you kind of like take notes on in terms of like crowd control and stuff like that?
No, not really.
Okay, gotcha.
You know what'll happen is I'll go to like a live show and I'll be like, yo, that was cool, I'll do that, but I never remember the name,
Okay, gotcha.
which is like, that's such a. I wish I did, because they deserve credit,
Yeah.
like I wish I could say like, oh yeah, this guy and this guy, but I honestly I just don't know what their names are.
Yeah, I get you.
I just thought.
Okay, so there's not like one particular person you look for or you like look at. It's just like you just sort of, I guess like you just sort of like take inspiration from different things that you see, essentially. Okay, yeah, I got you.
What have you been doing for work?
So I was working at Home Depot
Mm-hmm.
for like a year, and so I quit that job recently because I was like an order fulfillment guy. So basically, like when people order their like things online, I'm like the person that like looks at that and like picks it and stuff. So it seems like it would be a pretty easy job. But like at Home Depot, it's like there's contractors that like um, order like bunks of wood and like tool chests and things like that. So I was doing that for like a year, and I just like had enough of it, and we had like a pretty small staff
Yeah.
like for that. So I was just like, yeah, I can't really do this. So I quit that recently.
What you doing now?
I have a job interview tomorrow.
Okay, nice.
So we'll see how that goes.
I gotta start going out and doing that, cause since this hand is broken,
Yeah.
I haven't been able to bartend. That's been my main like passion in terms of like how I'm gonna make my money.
Yeah.
Bro, not being able to use your hand like that, especially when you're already a little depressed, that doesn't help. Like none of the stuff that I can't work out.
Yeah.
I can't play guitar that well.
Uh-huh.
I can't play video games that well.
Yeah.
I can't bartend, and that's huge. And
Yeah.
I can't fuck. Not like I used to. You gotta use your hands for that shit.
Yeah, I know exactly how you feel because like this was back in 2020. Yeah, October 2020.
Yeah.
So like I don't know if you know this, but like I was in Boy Scouts and stuff like that, and I was like going for Eagle Scout. That's like the highest rank.
Oh yeah,
in
yeah.
Boy Scouts.
Did you make it?
Yeah, I did.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I got Eagle.
What did you do?
Yes,
What
sir.
was your project?
I'll talk about that at
Okay,
the end of the
no,
story.
okay, good.
So, in Tennessee, there's this scout reservation where troops go there like in the summertime and they take merit badge classes and stuff like that. And there's like certain Eagle required merit badges. Like to get Eagle, I think you have to get like 21 merit badges, and like 15-ish of those are like required. So like first aid is required, personal fitness is required, and then there's like some optional ones. So there's the hiking, cycling, and swimming merit badge.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
have
yeah.
to get one of those to like you need to get one of those three to be Eagle. You don't have to get all three of them. You just have to pick like between one of those three. So this was like when I was like 14, I think. I wasn't really a strong swimmer. Most people are like smart and just choose the swimming merit badge because you can get that like at the camp in a week. I chose cycling. Big mistake. So like cycling at the camp was fun, but there was like a few requirements that I had to do like after, like when I got home or whatever.
Mm.
And so years roll by. I'm working on like other merit badges. Cycling's kind of like the back of my mind, and you have to get Eagle before you're like 18 years old. So my 18th birthday was in January 2021, and so this is like October 2020. Cycling is like the last merit badge I have to get. I found like this trail. And God, it was like a mountain biking trail, like a professional one. Like it had all the like stupid ass like turns
Yeah, yeah,
and all
yeah.
that kind of stuff. So like I'm like not prepared for it at all, but I have to do it if I want to like become like an eagle. So like I go like do this one turn, I'm going like way too fast, like I'm not used to that speed, and then like I hit a tree root,
Oh
and
shit.
then like I
It's
like
always the tree
fly
roots.
fly like over the bike, and I have like my hands
Oh
out on the
no.
ground, and so it like broke my left wrist, and I
Okay.
sprained my right wrist.
Shit. Both?
Yeah,
So you
it
were
broke this one.
so you couldn't
and,
do
like, sprained.
anything.
Yeah,
So you were
basically.
done.
Basically, for like a couple, like 6 weeks or so, something like that.
6 weeks, yeah.
Yeah.
That's about what it's been for me. So
Yeah.
I mean, I'm over exaggerating. It's not that bad, but I mean, 6 weeks feels like a long time sometimes.
Yeah.
But it's been okay. You know, for drumming, it's been really helpful
Really.
because because I started just because I made the decision to play drums anyways with the one hand, but my left hand is so much more strong now, and like I can keep time with it better and like be more creative with it. You know, just stuff that you don't really train your left hand to do just
Yeah.
because you're always
Using
stuck
your
on the
right
right
hand.
one. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, no, it's really helped. But dude, I was asking earlier, what did you do for your project for Eagle Scout?
Okay, wait. So let me get back to the cycling thing.
Okay,
It'll take
okay,
like
okay,
2
okay.
more seconds. Okay, so I was like, so cycling was out of the question.
Okay.
Swimming was out of the question, basically. So the only other merit badge I could do was hiking. So I looked at the the requirements for hiking,
the walking merit
and
badge.
it was basically, and it was like okay, it was like explain all the like hiking essentials, whatever, and then it was like okay, go on like
What are the hiking
four.
essentials?
It was go on like 2 5-mile hikes, go on like 4 10-mile hikes, and then go on like 1 20-mile hike. So I did all that within like in December of 2020, with like within a week. Like I did my project, and then I did the hiking merit badge in like a week. So I got that out of the way, thankfully, and then I became Eagle. But for my Eagle Scout like project, there's this church in Franklin, and they have like a garden like in the back, like for people that attend that church. They can like grow their own like vegetables and stuff like that.
Nice.
And so they had a gazebo there, and it had like 4 plots of mulch around it, essentially just like 4 mulched areas. So my project was to make a retaining wall, so like weeds wouldn't like overtake, because like they have like flowers and plants like in those plots of like mulch and stuff like that. So they didn't want like weeds to overtake it or anything like that. So I like dug along like the border of it, and I just like put like pebbles down, basically like really like small pebbles, and then put like retaining wall blocks on top of that. So that was like my project.
Okay, nice.
So it was a pretty simple project, but it was fun. And I had like, it was fun to like do it with friends,
Yeah, yeah.
and just like,
It's like build shit.
just like lead a project. So yeah, that was my project. So I did that, and then the hiking merit badge for like a week, and then I was able to get Eagle. So that's that story.
That's cool that you did that, man. I didn't last very long at Boy Scouts. I just yeah, man. I chose music,
Yeah.
honestly,
Mhm.
because I couldn't keep up with everything.
Yeah, that's fair.
I remember the whole way that I got enticed to do all that shit is they the troop that I joined showed a slideshow of them going to like the sand dunes and shit
Okay.
in like New Mexico
Yeah.
or Arizona. I don't know where it is, or Nevada. I don't know. But I saw that and I was like, whoa, like my eyes lit up. Like I want to go to the sand dunes. That shit looks crazy. And we never did anything like that, man.
Yeah.
We went camping, which is fun.
Yeah.
But I wanted to go on trips and shit. We never
Yeah.
did that.
So you guys didn't do high adventure? Do you know what that is?
No, what is that?
So there's like 3 like high adventure activities or whatever, like in scouts, like that like all the troops nationwide go to. So the one that there's like one is like Boundary Waters, I think. That's just like canoeing for like an absurd amount of time. It's like 10 days of canoeing.
We didn't do that. I've done 3 where we
Yeah.
overnight, twice, but no, not 10.
Yeah. And then there's one called Philmont, which you're like hiking. It's in New Mexico.
I've seen that.
Yeah. So that's the one that I did. So we were just like backpacking in the mountains of New Mexico for like 11 days.
See, I'd stay if we did shit like that because that sounds
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, no, it's definitely, it was one of like the best experiences of my life for sure.
I'm a huge outdoors fan.
Yeah.
If I could live in the Avatar movie, I would live in the Avatar movie. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I just watched this new there's this nature documentary out called Chimp Empire.
Okay.
You just watch these chimps. They're crazy.
Just
dude.
do chimp shit.
Yeah, no, you're watching chimps, but it's crazy because they're so close to us, man.
Yeah.
They're like, you're just looking at these. I mean, they look the most alien out of any animal, I think, just because how similar they are to us. Because like if we're thinking about aliens, we're thinking about a little bit humanoid creatures. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But they exist and they're chimps, and you can watch them live their little lives. They have these like entire like communities and like leaders and politics and like it's weird, man. It's crazy that they can do that. I mean, just like there's this this tribe in Ngogo is what the place is called. It's Ngogo, Uganda, and it's all these chimps, and they have like I think it's like 120 like chimps in this huge group, and they have like an empire. They'll go on patrols where they like make sure that all the other chimps like don't fuck with their shit.
Yeah.
And like they can like take over more territory, but they're starting to use tools now. Like they're like sharpening spears and stuff and like hunting monkeys with the spears. But at what point do they evolve into humans, dude? Like they're just you know what I'm saying?
Planet
Like,
of the Apes was a documentary.
it was a Oh, no, you're joking. Yeah. No, but seriously, like I'm looking at this and they're going down the same path that we did. You know, if you follow like what the evolution of humanity looks like. Shit, dude. Imagine walking around in the city and there's like a bunch of chimps with iPhones.
With iPhones and like sneakers and headphones and stuff, yeah.
Exactly, bro.
Yeah, but chimps have one thing or they don't have one thing that we have, and that's guns.
Well, they get their hands on a gun.
Yeah.
All they gotta do is figure out how to use that. They've already figured out how to make spears, dude.
Yeah, but I mean, for now we're okay. Like, if we have guns, they have spears. I think we'll be all right.
Oh yeah, I mean, we're not gonna fight the chimps anytime soon.
Yeah, no.
Well, it's cool the relationship that they made with the chimps. I was watching this podcast about it actually, and the guy that was filming all the scenes and everything, they have this relationship with the chimps where they just don't acknowledge them. Like, but these chimps, they'll have like full out wars with other chimps and stuff, with other like groups of chimps, and they just won't acknowledge the humans that are literally filming with cameras, which is just so wild that they're dealing with something like, I mean, imagine like aliens just like walking around like videotaping us while we get in physical altercations like in our lives and just like accept it. It's just kind of weird that they let these other bipedal creatures just like look at them all day. Like they're there when they wake up.
God, this is great. I didn't know you were so into animals.
Dude, I love animals.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's I got a bigger appreciation for animals once I started doing mushrooms and stuff like that, because it really opens up your mind to like what that experience must be like for an animal on Earth, you know?
Okay.
Because like I think they have like their own conscientious experience too. I don't think it's I don't know, I think that they're pretty self-aware themselves.
Yeah, for sure.
And
I
you
mean,
can
they're definitely intelligent. They're not just like stupid, just
Yeah,
walking
absolutely.
around like not knowing what's going on.
yeah. But yeah, man. So that mushrooms have definitely had an impact on the way I view just nature overall and animals. And if I could live in the Avatar movie, I would. I don't know, dude. The way that they have like a relationship with their creator like that, where they can like plug into the fucking earth, is so cool in Avatar.
Yeah.
Like, what if that's how you spoke to God, dude?
Yeah. Are you big into movies?
Am I big into movies?
Yeah, or are you just a
Not
massive
much.
Avatar fan?
Not much.
Okay.
I just like saying that because like I really do envy the
Yeah.
situation that they're in. I mean, other than getting blasted by a bunch of humans that came to your planet and fucked it all up.
Yeah,
But like, I'd love to be in a tribe, dude. If I could just go back to that like tribal state,
yeah,
I would.
just hunting and like stuff like that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's kind of like being in a band, I guess.
Is it?
I mean, yeah.
How so?
Because it's like a brotherhood, right?
Yeah.
You know.
No, that's
Like
true.
obviously, with a band, it's like about the business side. But if like if you really break it down to like the core of it, you know, being in a tribe and being in a band is sort of similar.
A little.
You know?
I think there's more community there, and it's more healthy for your lifestyle. I mean, if I could
Yeah.
wake up, not use my phone, and then go to sleep, I would. But I have to wake up and use my phone and drive a car, which is like, these are cool things that we have. But have you ever just looked at the interstate and just thought, whoa, you know, like these cars, dude. We all own our own fucking spaceship, and we're on these like tunnels to get to where we're going.
Yeah, and
It's-
we all hate each other too.
And we all hate each other because of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fucked up. I don't think anybody should be driving a car. You know, Lucas, I was telling you about him. He won't drive a car.
Really?
He totaled my last one, and now he won't drive.
So you're just like, is he terrified?
He's
of
terrified
cars?
of the vehicle. He has this van. His parents bought him a church. Well, his mom bought him a church van. This like big ass like 15-seater, like what you'd see at like a canoe trip. Yeah. So he has this whole huge ass van, and he can't even drive, dude. He can't drive for shit.
How does he get around?
He just bumps rides off people.
Okay, I guess
Essentially.
Uber and stuff like that too.
Yeah. I mean, you can today, but like,
Yeah.
what I'm saying
It
is,
kind of depends where you live, though.
yeah,
Like New York, it'd be a lot easier to get around than like Nashville. Nashville, you kind of need a car.
true.
Yeah, but what were you saying? I feel like I cut you off.
No,
Sorry
you're all
about that.
good. It's just the fact that I mean, especially like you said in Nashville, you need a car. You need
Yeah.
a car.
Yeah.
You need a car. I mean, do you know how much a car costs? Like, how do you start? If you're born into poverty, what the fuck do you do, dude? You can't afford a car that's like $5,000 and then expect to be able to drive it right away. And you know, you can't even get a license right away. You have to get a permit. And what if you don't have anybody that you can depend on? I mean, that's where Lucas is at. His family never taught him how to drive, dude. Like, he can't. And like, I don't have the fucking time in my day to like take him and teach him how to drive. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I've tried before.
Wait, so does he have a license?
Yeah, he has a license, but he's just too. I mean, I was trusting him for a minute,
Yeah.
but it really fucked with him that he totaled my last car. I mean, he got in a wreck. He was turning left on a green light, but it wasn't a left arrow. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
And then he hit somebody else. They were going like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, he totaled my Mazda. But, you know, insurance gave me so much money for that. Oh, dude. If you don't like your car anymore, I highly recommend totaling it. My first ever car was a Toyota Corolla that we got from my grandparents.
Yeah.
Again, for $1,000, which, how do you have that amount of money normally? I don't know. But we got that, and then I totaled that on a root of a tree, just like you with your fucking dirt bike story.
Thanks.
I hit the root of a tree,
Yeah.
and it breaks the axle, like because I
Yeah.
just hit the root with my wheel.
Yeah.
But it broke the axle in that car and totaled it. So for a car that I got for $1,000, I got $5,000 for it from my insurance company.
Yeah.
So I went to go buy a better car, the Mazda, right?
Right.
Then Lucas totals the Mazda like 5 years later, and I get $9,000 for that shit. Now I have an even better car, a Volvo.
Yeah.
So like,
I guess that's the fucking like life hack right there.
just keep totaling that car, bro.
Don't
Insurance
buy your
rates? Pfft, my dad pays my insurance, bro. I don't gotta worry about that.
So don't sell your car. Just
Don't sell your
total
car, total
it.
it.
Oh my god,
Yeah, man.
that's hilarious. What's your dream car? Are you big into cars or not really?
This is a stupid answer, but I really like a Tesla.
Okay.
Dream car though, Porsche 911.
Good choice.
I'm not huge into
That's
cars.
like my dad's favorite car.
Yeah, I'm not huge into cars, but I know what I'd want, if I
Yeah.
could choose.
Yeah.
But once we start talking about like affordable dream cars, dude, I don't fucking know. Honda Civic. Like,
Yeah.
no. Yeah, I have a friend that's in like aerospace engineering, and I was talking to him, asking him what his favorite car is that, he'd be able to just afford. And he said a Honda Civic. So, because they're making them really fast now. They're making them really sporty. Right now, somebody just hit my Volvo. So I'm renting a Chevy Malibu. And, I've always made fun of Chevy because their car commercials sucked for a long time. But that's a good car. It's a fun car. It's pretty fast. All these cars nowadays, though, they're getting really fast. All of them. Well, I mean, if you think about it, just like the evolution of like car technologies, it goes from like you have these cars that are like, we got 2 horsepower. You know what I'm saying? Because like they used to have like 2 horses, so now they have a car that has like 2 horsepower because it's the power of 2 horses. And now we're all the way into fucking like over 1,000, dude. On just like normal ass cars, you have 1,000
We have a
horses.
fucking
pulling
cavalry of horses.
That's what I'm
in your
saying,
car.
dude. But it started out as just like a couple horses, But now, what I mean by that is when you're buying a used vehicle, you're gonna get something that's obviously older. But
Yeah.
the crazier we get with the newer cars, 10 years from now, I mean, every new car nowadays is over 400 horsepower, and you're just gonna keep getting like, I mean, look, the Tesla on the precipice of like car technologies can go like 0 to 60 in 2 seconds. Okay, well, let's say in like 3, 4, maybe 5 years, every car can do that because we just keep innovating. Mm-hmm. So in 10 years or 15 years, when you're buying a used car for cheap that came out in 2025, everyone's going to have a car that can do that.
Yeah.
We're going to change some speed limits, bro.
Yeah, hopefully.
I don't think anybody fucking drives the speed limit, dude, except for Lucas because he's terrified of driving, which rightly so, because humans shouldn't be controlling an object that goes that fast, dude. It's fucked up. We're going to change the speed limit. I'll make fun of somebody for going under the speed limit, but god damn it, you should not be controlling an object that goes 100 miles per hour. That's really fast. We're so desensitized to it.
Yeah.
I went to traffic school because, I just keep getting speeding tickets because I'm a dumbass too. And I was renting a Tesla for a while. Like I said, this is my dream car. It was super fucking awesome. But what was I saying? Fuck! I forgot what I was saying. No, I was in traffic school and they show you like what happens if you run into something at just 30 miles an hour and it just crumples the entire front of your vehicle, dude. It's just over.
Yeah.
30 miles an hour. I was driving 100 miles an hour on the interstate the other day.
Yep. That's how it is.
Shouldn't happen.
Are you scared of innovation?
I'm I don't
Are
think
you
it's.
excited?
I think it's incorrect for humans. I don't think we should be doing it. I think it's bad for us, mentally, and physically, and spiritually, because I think, again, it's the mushrooms talking, but I feel like we're designed for what humans were, the primal, just the community and this phone is like so unhealthy, and
Yeah.
I think our relationships with other humans is definitely unhealthy nowadays too. Sex is becoming something that's like really digitalized, like on Tinder, dude. I
It's
mean,
like a transaction, basically.
absolutely.
Nowadays.
And it's weird, man. It feels like I don't know. It's just messed up, and I feel like the more technology innovates, the more the people who are innovating technology are going to gain power, and the people that aren't and are just consuming are going to lose power. And I feel like it's actually our society is going into like a corporate feudalism almost, because at this point, all these corporations. I mean, I'm renting this house out from this corporation that owns millions of houses across America. I can't get in touch with my landlord at all, dude. I can't speak to him at all. I don't know if it's a him, because yeah, right. We've only spoken to AIs, dude. Like, I don't even know if I'm getting scammed anymore, and that's why scams are so big in Nashville right now. The real estate
Everywhere.
scams.
Yeah.
You've heard of that?
Yeah.
Yeah, like you go out, you think that you're renting, and then you find out through like the government that you're not renting from any owner that exists.
Yeah.
And then you get kicked out of this house that you spent like $2,000 to rent.
Mm-hmm.
And it's fucked up, but like what I'm saying is so okay, all right, let me get back to it. So these corporations own all these houses, right? So we're going to end up having to rent because we can't own anymore because a corporation that's so big isn't going to sell us anything. Only private people really sell land, right? So the more the government and corporations buy up land, the less we're going to be able to own. And the more we're going to have to work for these corporations that own land. And you're going to end up working for somebody just to be able to afford your rent, kind of like how it already is, but doing nothing for yourself. And I already see it going that way. I mean, you can't really create anymore that much, like you can't live for yourself at all. If I wanted to choose to be a hippie, like really go for it. Like I want to be an agrarian person. You can't do it. Not in America.
I mean, you sort of can, in my opinion.
You can't. What
I
do
mean,
you?
It's definitely.
If I wanted a farm,
Yeah.
I can't go out and buy that land for a farm. It's all owned by corporate.
What do you? So
corporate
by
farmland
hippie,
now.
by hippie, do you mean like you stay in one area and you live a hippie lifestyle, or do you mean like being like a nomad?
Well, I mean, you can choose between nomadic and.
Yeah, but I'm asking like you, like personally.
Oh, like what would I do?
Yeah, if you were a hippie.
I don't know. I think it would be better to like grow my own food and shit for
So
sure.
you stay in like one place basically.
I'd move. I want to see the world.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd get like a van
Yeah.
and do that thing. But you have to use social media to do that.
What do you mean?
Well, that's really the only way that you can like live that mobile life.
Is if you're monetizing it?
Yeah, you got to monetize it.
Hmm.
And like of course you have to monetize everything. I mean, you have to earn your food in society.
Yeah.
And that's been how it's been since like caveman days. You have to earn your food. You can't just like wake up and get fed unless you're a king.
Yeah.
Which I want to be a king. That'd be the best.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, it's just weird, man. Just I don't know. Have you seen Vivarium?
No, is that a movie?
I keep telling people about this. It's this movie about essentially this couple goes into this like real estate shop and they buy a house from like this like alien dude, but like you don't know he's an alien yet.
Okay.
And then they have this house, but they can't have a kid at this house essentially. So like they get a baby shipped to them in a box, and it's like an alien. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like all these houses look the same.
Okay.
All these houses look the same, and it just really started creeping me out because like you look in my neighborhood, you like step out and you look at all these houses, and it's just we're just being piled on top of each other in these fucking little neighborhoods, and it's still weird. I don't know, I have a problem with it.
Mm-hmm.
I've always been rural.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My family had me growing up like
Like you were in a small town and stuff like that.
yeah, in a small town and shit. So like I don't like these urban communities very much.
Yeah. Okay. So like your goal, I guess like your goal living situation is like to move back to somewhere, rural.
Probs.
Okay. Gotcha.
I don't know. Like when I once I make it,
Yeah.
I wanted to move back closer to Nashville so that I could get just so I could be closer to everything. You know, I'm bartending, so I got to be closer to everything, and I'm also music.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta do all the music. Sorry, I get brain farts all the time.
It's all good. What was I gonna say?
I
Yeah, I just tell people like I just tell people like with social media, I'm like stay off of it unless like you're making money from it. I
True.
think you should stay off of social media.
True.
Yeah.
I use it for the music aspect, for promotion and everything.
Yeah, but it's kind of tough though because it's like there's producers and there's consumers. You know what I'm saying? And like you can't be a producer if there's no one consuming like what you produce. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like I think mentally for an average person, it's definitely better to not be like on social media, you know. But it's like for like producers, it's like you need a following, you know. Like
Yeah,
you need people to like consume what you're putting out there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
There's so much now. It's so hard
yeah,
to even get there to that point. Everybody's bowing down to the fucking social media owners
yeah,
to even like get to that point because you have to advertise some way, you know.
all right. Yeah.
So you gotta
Yeah, you won't make it without advertising.
go with the algorithm
For
and
sure.
everything.
You kind of have to like go with an algorithm to like start, but once you have like a loyal following, you can pretty much do whatever you want, but it's just hard to get there.
I think people are less loyal these days.
Yeah. Expand on that.
I think like it's hard to be, you know, because you have so many options,
Yeah.
and that goes for anything, you know, for jobs, for relationships, for even being a consumer of one band.
Yeah.
Because how are you going to get into one band when your Discover Weekly on Spotify shows you 30 new bands every day? You know?
Well, it's just like the ones that you really, really like resonate with you.
I know,
That's
like
the ones that
you
like,
still
you can be a
fuck with
fan
them,
more
but
than
like
one.
I don't know. I find myself like having that big like resonating relationship only with old bands.
Yeah.
Like anything that came out before the 2000s, you know.
Yeah.
None of the new stuff. Like anything new, it's just gonna be like I'll hear it, and I love that one song. But again, I mean, it might just be where I'm coming from as somebody who like never looks into the artist or something, which I wish I did. I feel bad about it. But I just like I have one song. Like there's this one song called "Worms" by Viagra Boys. Super good. But I haven't listened to their other stuff.
Yeah.
You know, because you just get fed all this information all the time.
Mm.
But yeah, I think people are less loyal nowadays in relationships too. It's because it has to be social media. You know, you're looking at all these fucking attractive people online all the time.
Yeah.
And you're thinking,
it kind of gives you like an unrealistic standard,
mm-hmm,
you know.
mm-hmm.
And it's also just not good for you because like you're comparing yourself to other people as well.
Yeah.
And it just kind of fucks up your whole like worldview. That's why I say like people shouldn't be on social media, because it's just like it's gonna fuck up like your whole like how you see everything.
Yeah.
I feel like, you know. But like if you were just like in the real world, not on your phone, you know, you just had like, you know, close friends and stuff, and you're just meeting people through them or through your work, school, etc., etc. I feel like, you know, community would be a lot stronger.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know,
Well, it's hard to connect with people now too, because like
yeah, because people have their
I
own
think
things going
people
on.
think you're weird if you try to strike up a conversation with them now.
Yeah.
Unless you're at a bar or
yeah.
something. Even at some bars I've been to, people are just on their phone, dude.
Yeah, why would you do that?
I can't talk to anybody, dude, because
Yeah.
I feel like I'm interrupting your space with like
Yeah.
whatever you're doing on here. Like I feel like I'm interrupting this
Yeah.
if I'm talking to somebody. If I like
Yeah, but
try to
also like,
start a conversation.
but at the same time, like, fuck that. Like,
Yeah.
fuck what you're looking on your phone.
Yeah.
It's like art. Like, everyone before the year 2000, it's like, okay, if you're in a line, or like if you're like at a social event, it's like you have to like talk to people. You know what I'm saying? Like now it's like people are just like standing around like on their phones, but it's like not interacting with each other, but they're still like in a social space basically. You know what I'm saying? But it's like you should like be like making small talk, you know, just like improving your social skills and stuff like that. You could be like, hey, that's a nice shirt, or I like those shoes. Where'd you get them? Like simple shit, you know? Simple shit that's gonna make you like, I guess, more friendly and more social, but people are very turned off to that. It seems like people are just like stick with like who they know from their childhood or like from their school, and then they're just like, yeah, I'm just rocking with like these three
Yeah.
other people. We're gonna go to the fucking mall, and just four people at a table all on their phones, and they're hanging out, and it's like, okay, is that really like a good friendship? Like y'all should be like talking to each other. I just hate that everything, it's like, it seems like friendships nowadays are, hey, did you see this? And then they like show you on their phone, and it's like whatever. Like, hey, there's this really funny video. You're just
That's
sending
fun
like
too,
things.
though.
It's fun. It's absolutely
I
fun.
find some great
Like, I
videos
don't
on there.
dislike it, and it's like different, cool to share things with your friends. But I feel like everything is so.
But it is an
digitalized.
interesting culture. It's like you're
Yeah.
sharing entertainment instead of life, almost.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I just think there needs to be a balance, you know.
Definitely.
But I mean, entertainment is definitely part of life. Like if you go to a concert, that is an entertaining event, you know. But you're also gonna like get life experience from that.
It's
So,
also something that's like, as much as I love entertainment, I don't think it's it's definitely not normal for. I don't think so, because like, when you start, if you think about like, I always go back to the roots of like what life is like, you know,
Yeah.
and especially just think about the chimps, you know,
Yeah.
just in the forest and shit. There's no entertainment, you know. Once you have the entertainment thing, you're putting this other person up on a pedestal. So already that thing it's not normal, but now since it's so prevalent, you know, there's a lot of different people being put up on pedestals, and there's like almost like a pecking order, like a
Yeah.
caste system
Hmm.
of how much on a pedestal you're on
Hmm.
in terms of how much you can entertain others.
Yeah.
And there's so many people that like, you know, they just consume.
Yeah.
But like as a creator, I definitely feel myself in that space of like
Yeah.
I don't know, it's just kind of like toxic, dude.
Yeah. Do you think there's gonna be like, I mean, earlier you were saying you think people are less loyal. Do you think there's gonna, like in the future, do you think there's still gonna be like superstars? And what I mean by that is like, you know, like someone that's like on Drake's level in music, or someone that's like on like,
Oh no.
yeah,
Yeah, I think
Like someone that's, like-
that's over,
yeah,
essentially. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I don't know like how much music is just good. Like take Michael Jackson, for example. Like his music is great,
Yeah.
But if it wasn't promoted the way it was, I feel like it could still be fringe, you know? And it's just, the model that we're in right now, no one is going to be that big. But I don't think anybody should be that big anyways. I think it's still good. I just hate how little music is valued nowadays. Because it's just there now. It's like everyone expects it for free, you know? And that sucks because it just makes it so hard to sell your music, to make a living off of like what you want to do in music. I feel like being a musician now is more like being an influencer.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like that's not what I want to be.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like that's kind of what I have to be if I want
Yeah.
to like make it through my music. I really like bartending, dude. Bartending's cool. Cause like that way, this fucking stink, dude. That way I can make money while having conversations with people, and you know, I always go home happier than before I got there.
Yeah.
Because I feel like what gets me depressed really recently has just been like the lack of just talking to people, especially new people.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's a big problem with like innovation that I was talking about earlier.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you want to follow my socials, we got Dominic Escandell is my Instagram.
Okay.
And then you can kind of see everything from there. Beamer's Band is a project that we're still working on. It has very little following and very, we're still going to change the name on that. So honestly, and then The Couch is Official is that project. I'm still going to start it back up again. I just got to get.
Okay.
If you're a musician, hit up The Couch is Official or hit up Dominic Escandell and let me know what you play and let me know if you're into my music and if you want to help out with that because. I don't know. I'm still trying to like navigate how I'm gonna really get that going again. But I'm really passionate about that sound, and I want it to pick up again.
Yeah. So that's Dominic Escandell. His Instagram will be linked in the description. And make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share this video with a friend. And y'all have a good day. Peace, guys.
Word. Thanks.